if you're talking to a for sale by owner and you say, you're asking them questions with the goal of finding out, do they have to sell the home? Yes or no? If yes, they have to. Then the second thing you want to find out through a series of questions, do they need to sell this thing right away? If it's yes and yes, they need to sell and they need to sell right away, I would keep that as a lead and work it and say, I need to see your home.
Hey guys, welcome to our webinar with Mr. Ren Jones. We're talking to you today about how to get those seller listings. It's only August 17th, Ren, and I heard a real estate agent say that she's waiting till January.
Well, what is she waiting for, to start the new year or what?
Because that's when her clients are going to be putting homes on the market. So I know most start in like October, but I mean August is a little early for that, right?
Well, she said clients, so we know she has at least two.
Yeah, amen. But so and I'm joking around, but I'm actually not, because that's what somebody said. But I was like, well, listen, there's definitely people that want to list, but she thinks. Well,
remember when COVID and everybody thought, like wasn't sure what that year was going to be like, and there were people like, well, I'm not going to bother any of my past clients. Turned out to be one of the best real estate years in history.
Amen. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Getting out there and connecting with those past clients.
Just get out there and just get out there and talk to people. You'll sell a lot. I mean, there are agents. Well, this will sound a little outlandish, but I was talking to a guy who has a team between him and his daughter's team. They sell 100 homes a month. He has a team and his daughter has a team, and they're selling combined. His team and their daughter's team selling
100 a month.
A month.
Yeah.
A month.
Yeah, that's good business.
Yeah, and it's not rocket science. They're basically seller driven. They're just going for listings. They're just going to everything is, I want to take a listing today, and where do I find one listing today or two listings today? And they just lots of conversations.
Well, we got some great people. We got Nichelle on, we got Rachel, we got Sandra, we got Tony, we got Sylvia, Thomas, Aaron, Caleb, Brendan, man, we got Sam, we got, oh man, so people are just popping on, man. We'll just keep chopping it up, but let's let people know. For people that don't know who you are, Ren, you've been in this business. Tell me how many years again?
20 plus.
20. Okay. For some reason, I thought you were in the 30s, but so
20 plus. David, the rule is always when you hit 20, it's 20 plus. Okay.
Got it. Okay. So I'm 20 plus too then. So I'm going to say.
All right. There you go.
All right. Good. And you and here's what I was telling people, like, you have clients all over the US, right? In all the different states because of your service.
Yeah. So
what are you seeing right now? Because are you seeing like when it comes to this side of the business, focusing on expireds?
There are third less transactions, so we'll end up with 4.3 million sales versus what? Close to 6 million sales. So yeah, third less sales, but this will be the third highest year if you're looking at dollars and commissions. Third best year on record, because the commissions have moved up so high in the last 36 months. If you look back 4 years ago, agents would be, if an agent was averaging at $9,000, they're now averaging $12,000 or $14,000 in their checks. So everybody's checks have gone way up. So even though there's a third less transactions, the commission checks are dramatically higher, which makes it a darn good year. You may have less units, but you're going to have larger checks. That's all. That's all fact. This will be the third best year on record based on commission dollars.
That's good to know. So we have to figure out how to get our share of those, or our unfair share,
right,
of those commission dollars.
Right. Just outwork people. And I think the biggest challenge is people get knocked off track. They do the right thing. They go out there to get listings. This is what we see. They go out there and they're calling, they get a listing, they get another listing, get another listing, get another, expires for sale owners, calling around a listing or sale. They're calling a pre-foreclosure, NOD, or they're calling some absentees, and they're working on all these different categories of sellers. And then those houses go under contract. Then two of them go, well, I need to buy something. And then they stop taking listings, and they haul these people around for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then they go down the drain, and then they have to start all over again, and they miss their opportunity.
So what should they do with those buyers? I really think
the smartest thing you can do in this business is to refer 100% of the buyers out. I really believe that. But you have to do it in a smart way to where you're not giving away money.
Well, you bring on a buyer's agent. I mean, that's what we did, Ren.
Well, but can I?
A buyer's agent,
and you can refer them too. But I think you have to look at it this way, because even with a buyer's agent, there are people like the team member will go, well, I sold their $400,000 house and they're buying a 2.2. I'm not going to let the buyer's agent make half of that. Well, don't.
Well,
just do this. Just say, on these mega trade ups, you're making 25%. You're still going to get $12,000. I'm going to get 36,000, 75, 25, pay them 25%. You make 75%. They're going to show beautiful homes, and there are only a half a dozen to show them anyway. They're going to make a nice big check, and you're going to get 75% of it. But it allows you to stay on track, prospecting and taking listings.
Yeah,
that takes agents out of the game more than anything, getting sidetracked with a buyer because they sold their home.
Yeah, I'm gonna share this. I want to make sure you see on the slide. It shows the slide. It says the listing challenge, Vulcan 7 real estate listing challenge. Is that what we're all seeing together? All right, good. So Ren, first off, I just want to say thank you for sponsoring this, and we're gonna talk about the challenge you guys are offering right now at the end, as well as us right now for people that want to take advantage of Vulcan 7.
Sure,
there's a special offer that if you don't take a listing your first month, your second month is free, and then you get your fourth month free as well. So, I mean, listen, this stuff is working. And then I'm going to also share how we're going to help you with that process. So if using Vulcan system along with our training, consulting, how we're gonna help you take that first listing in that first 30 days, no problem. But let's talk about for sale by owners, Ren. For sale by owners are down, right? Like, so if you think about the why, the how, and the when, why do people sell homes themselves?
Well, they have a perception that they're saving money. And to be fair, if they're listing with an agent that really isn't very good at what they're doing, maybe they are saving money, maybe they're not. I don't know. It just depends. But if you have a great agent, a strong agent, a skilled agent that knows how to create a lot of attention on the property very quickly, getting multiple offers, and how to, with escalation clauses, walk these things up, you're so smart to list with an agent. Yeah, for sale by owners as a percentage is down. It always used to be 12 to 13%, and now it's what, 7 or 8% according to NAR. Isn't that right? Something like that.
Is it?
Yeah, I have a chart somewhere that it's down significantly in the last 2 years. Yes, as a percentage, people are thinking they want to list with agents because they're starting to realize it makes a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, and if you go back to it, and then the how, what are they doing? Is they're just usually throwing their house, either on like a Zillow, or sometimes they're using these other entry only type services, right? Like, and this keeps coming up now, where they're going to pay a discount brokerage, right? Or a brokerage that offers no services to put their house on the MLS.
Mm-hmm. And so what you really, and when they say that, what you say to them is, so if I hear you correctly, you're just trying to save the other 3%.
Yeah, right.
Right. Because I mean, it's not like they're saving 6%. They're going to save, because they're still going to have agents come. They're still going to pay out 2.5% or 3%, depending on where you are in the country. And so the amount they're trying to save is this much, but a good agent can bring them this much more.
That's right.
By having the multiple offers, knowing how to cultivate those multiple, knowing how to have 4 dogs and 1 bone and drive that price north. We've all seen that skill. And it can make a difference of $20, $30, $40, $50, $80,000 on the final selling price. So we have to be able to market those our value proposition to those for sale by owners.
Absolutely. And then the when, I think of the when as, like, when are they going to be open? And we know, my first experience in real estate was calling for sale by owners, literally first day in the office. and it takes typically 30 to 45 days is the average. We know that they're gonna give up. Usually they're not gonna do anything right away. They're gonna go it. They got their plan, they got their mindset. They're gonna go. And if they don't sell, some go faster, but the average is 30 to 45 days. You see it. I mean, that's across the board, Ren. I mean, that's
right. That's across the board. But then, do you want a lot of those leads? The problem you have with and I like this formula. I like the fact that if you're talking to a for sale by owner, and you say, you're asking them questions with the goal of finding out, do they have to sell the home? Yes or no? If yes, they have to. Then the second thing you want to find out through a series of questions, do they need to sell this thing right away? If it's yes and yes, they need to sell and they need to sell right away, I would keep that as a lead and work it and say, I need to see your home. You're right in the middle of where I sell a lot of homes. I need to see what you have. I may have your buyer. I don't know if I do, but you're right in the center of my market and I need to see it. Then throw the other 80% of the leads in the trash. This is just what I would do, and it worked really well. Now let's say you've taken 20 leads and you're only keeping 4, because only 4 have to move and have to move right away. Those people will put it on the market within a matter of a week or 2. Okay. Now maybe 1 will sell, and then the other 2 or 3 you take 1, you take 2. They have to sell, and they have to sell soon. It's like, well, we don't have to sell. Well, and when they say that, that's a strength. That's a liability. We're definitely selling, but whether it's this year or next year, my husband's retiring, I'm doing this, we're all moving down to Orlando, blah, blah, blah. So they're going to talk to 39 agents and meet with 7 of them over the next 6 months. Don't be one of them. Your numbers aren't good, but if they have to move and they have to move right away, that thing is moving so fast. Jump on that, get in front of them, do whatever it takes so you can really focus your energy and get some.
I love that. And I wrote that down.
It works.
So literally, Ren, I wrote it down. Like, I love that. I'm actually going to add that. Like, on our sequence of questions, but you're right. Like, that's not one of our first questions. Like, do you have to sell?
Well, and you wouldn't ask that. You would just basically.
I know, not the first question, but I get it. It definitely.
No, that's what you're trying to get the answer of. What you wanted, how you want to do is say, if you sold the home, where would you go next? Well, we're moving to Orlando. Well, what's important about moving to Orlando? And then they tell you, or if they say, well, my wife took a new job, she's already down there. I'm wrapping things up, and this house is gonna be empty in a couple of weeks anyway. So do they have to move? Yes. And do they have to move quickly? Yes. That's yes and yes. You found out through a series of questions.
Yeah.
Where are you moving to? How soon do you need to be there? And what's important about moving there? That'll do it. Where, when, how soon, and what's important about moving there? Yeah.
I love it. I'm actually, like I said, I literally wrote that down on my pad of paper. I think I may move that further up on our questions. Like,
I think you can take an extra 2 FSBOs a month doing that.
Yeah, I like it. And then just scrap the ones that are far out. I mean, I would still set
if
them
they
up on
are
like
if they are just doodling around. If they're doodling around, don't be. I mean, don't be one of the 39 realtors they meet with over the next 6 months.
But you can still. I mean, you can still obviously put them in a follow-up drip campaign and stuff like that.
Refer them to your competitors.
I love it. So, lead providers, there's different lead providers out there. Obviously, you guys are a source that provides these leads. So what I liked about it, when I first started, I would have to I'd have to go research it. I'd have to go to the newspaper. I'd have to go to different websites. And then in the morning, I'd make calls. But now I just go into Vulcan, I log in the morning, and all the phone numbers are right there for me.
Yeah, we're unique because everything is about building seller business. We make it easy to reach sellers that need the agent's help. When you go to a typical event and they have all these booths, you have 50, 60 booths of lead providers that are mostly buyer leads. And then you have one maybe that's seller leads. Which is better, to dominate the market with listings, or to be driving Ubering, playing Uber and driving buyers around?
I was just saying this earlier, man. We were carried anywhere from 10 to sometimes 25 listings a month, and I had complete leverage and control over my schedule because I can list a house, I could go to the beach, I could do whatever I wanted. Other agents could show it. There was a lockbox. And if you're doing that with buyers, there's no way. You could not work 10 buyers without being a complete, like, just a chauffeur,
Right.
For a lack of a better term. I mean,
right. The only efficient method in that is to be on a team. And that's because a lot of what you're carrying around are people that are homeless because your team has sold the listing. That is your ideal situation if you're working with buyers. If you're a solo agent, you're working with buyers, it's, God love you.
I want to talk about another, expireds now. Okay. So the expireds is another, and the reason that FSBOs, and, this is what I learned in the beginning. These are people that they're not all reasonable, right? You know that, Ren. They're not all super motivated, but they are people that have raised their hand.
Right. Well, and the reason they expire, and we're glad they did, is they decided that their house is worth $450, even though they know it's worth $350, but they think we're in a market, and we were for a while where a $350,000 house could sell for $450. So they gave it a shot, and they didn't. So, and the same's true with for sale owners. Why will a for sale owner, almost every for sale owner that's out there, and every expired, is because they are higher than the market will bear. And we love that because it gives us an opportunity to come in and help them understand what they need to do to get it sold. And then we facilitate that for them. So in every case, these are overpriced homes, all of them. Yeah, and some of it is they're not priced right based on the condition,
Yeah. I can tell you, though, I have seen, and this has happened many times, situations where we put it back on at the same price and get the price or more money just because we marketed it better. Maybe the right buyer didn't show up the first time. So that does sometimes happen. Right.
They have a bad agent. They had terrible photos. They had the wrong information. And we see that so much. There's so much malpractice in our industry. And that's the good news for a lot of the people watching. There's such an opportunity to become very wealthy in this industry because there's so much malpractice, or just incompetence in what's being done out there.
So the reason I have the why, how, and when is because when I think about the why, it's like I'm always thinking about, okay, why is this, like, this person doing what they're doing? Like, why did their house not sell? Why did they want to sell in the first place? Like, why do they believe that it failed, right? And then the how is like, okay, how do I help them? How do I do this? How do we connect with them, right? And that's where you come in. And then the when is really just timing. It's like, and for me, sometimes, like, I'm a follow-up master, so I understand the follow-up game. And I'll just set. I've had expireds that took me 3 years to get the listing. I don't care because all I'm doing is scheduling the next call.
Right. You're right. Right. Yeah. Might as well add them to the list and call until they're ready to roll. So yeah.
That's right. That's right. Right. And here's the thing, Ren. We know. Let me go to this. Like, these are the things they're going to tell us. I already know there's 8 things they're going to tell us, Ren.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm not interested. I'm going to list with the same agent. What are you going to do different? I'm going to sell myself. I had 20 agents call me. I'm going to keep it off the market. Right. We already found another agent and we couldn't find another home. So
and the good news is David Hill has the answers to all of these.
That's right.
So when they say I'm not interested, so let me ask you, if I brought you an offer this afternoon that was all cash or was very well qualified that would pay the $459 that you are asking, would you accept that offer?
Yeah.
Or whatever you say, David. He has got the answer for each one of these, or multiple 2 or 3 things you say when they say that. And then, why reinvent the wheel? Why wing it? Why try to guess what to do? So it's a good.
Well, you don't have to. And then the practice also comes into play. But what I also, like, these are the sources right here, Ren. And these are the sources that we can, cancel listings. Great source of potential, right? New expireds, the ones that just came off. Every morning, Ren, we're on those. Like, I want to be the first to call. Old expireds, going back, right, to the old lists.
Yes, right. And those are friendly calls. It's the shallow end of the pool. If you're newer to this, call old expireds. They're friendly. The odds of taking a listing run very high. You should be able to take at least minimum one listing a week from old expireds by calling them. They're friendly calls. They want to tell you everything.
How far back are you going, Ren? When you call the old expireds, how far back are you suggesting we go?
I think 18 months is a good number.
Wow. Okay. Got it. Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have a conversation, and a lot of times then they're ready for a variety of reasons. So yeah, I would do that. And they will chat, and they're very friendly. So it's a great source of business. Great source of business. And the skill level required is nowhere near as high as going to the front lines with the new expired and cancel, because you have a lot of sharks in the front line, as you know. It's very competitive. But old expireds, it's wide open, and really you should be able to take an extra listing or two every month from that.
Yeah, I mean, we still do it. I honestly want to be the first to call, but at the end of the day, I don't even care, Ren, because nobody's going to hurt my feelings, and I'm just calling to help people. So even if
the higher level your skill, the easier it is to call hours later, because your skill level is so high, you can diffuse anything they throw at you. When you're newer at it, you want to try to be one of the first, because, sure, might they be a little annoyed you're calling at 8 a.m. in the morning in some areas? But yeah, could be, but they're a lot less annoyed than they are if you're the 12th caller.
That's a really great point. So, and obviously, if the best way to get this information is through you, right? Through a system, whether they use your system or another system. This, and people ask me this all the time. And I don't know the answer. Like, why is Vulcan 7 better than another system? So here, I'm going to throw you,
have to understand I'm slightly biased, and I would tell you that probably because we're expensive relative to our competitors, but it allows us to have 3 different sources of work numbers. And this isn't like you're calling Kraft Foods or something. You're calling their smaller LLC businesses, so you're getting them on their cell phone or whatever it might be, or on their but you're getting phone numbers to reach people that most people don't get. Most of the other services give the basic numbers that are available. We're giving you numbers that nobody else has. And the harder it is to get that number, the better the lead, because they receive a lot fewer calls. If you're calling a number everybody else has and they get 27 calls, or you're calling a number that nobody has and they talk to just you, so that it's worth that extra 20% of numbers to reach somebody and have a good conversation, because you got through to people that nobody else got through to, or very few got through to.
So I want to show this.
You might pay $80 a month more, but guess what? For a $12,000 commission check,
that's right. We have to help people make sense out of investing, Ren. I think that's one of the challenges. And here's listen, here's the reality. Here's a strategy for you. Use the phones. Email. I don't know about email so much anymore. I mean, people, email's gotten a lot more difficult, but phones, door knocking, direct mail pieces, having the right funnels, the Facebook ads, all this stuff together is what's working the best. It's not just one, but when you have a combination.
Yeah, agree.
That's going to get you the
4 or
best.
5 different ways. Right. And because of that variety, maybe you took 4 listings from calling them. You got 1 listing last month from door knocking. You got 2 from your funnels. You dropped off a couple expired packets.
Yep, that's the expired kit right there.
Is that what it said? That
expired EXP kit.
Those things work really well, but just be very selective about what you want. And I'm not saying anybody should do this, but I used to put them in like FedEx envelopes and things like that, because nobody would tamper with them. If I put them in a regular envelope, the next agent would come along and see it and take it.
Really? That's kind of scary, man. Holy cow. Those are tough times. So another source now is circle prospecting, right? Like calling the neighborhood, the area. Now you also get data for people that want call around
Right,
the listings.
right. And you can filter that. You can say, I only want people that own the property that don't live there. That's called absentee. You can have a filter called likely to list, where you circle the area of, like, maybe you circle 1,200 homes, and then it just gives you 243 homes of people that are based on 167 public record data points are way more likely to put their home on the market than the rest. So you can just zero in on that group and just say, we just sold Morris's home here in Willow Glen, and we still have people that want to move into Willow Glen. They didn't get that house, but they would like to move into Willow Glen. I was calling to see, when you plan on moving.
Yeah, that's super smart. And so again, similar to expireds, I just want to. There's different ways to do this, right? There's same thing with FSBOs. You hit the doors. Bring a kit with you. You hit those phones. You can send them mail. You can email them. We build landing pages and different funnels to get in front of people, right? Use social media, use the direct mail. But again, it's a combination of all the things. But I'll tell you what, the phones have always been for us the most efficient way, the fastest way, the easiest. And Ren, what I do is, if I can't get someone on the phone and the house is in like an area that I'm excited about, I jump right in my car and just head right over there right away.
I do too. I think you have to do some targeted stuff for some really good properties, and do that and drop off a little packet, something like that. And I would put I would put a printout of their listing, and that's some of the comps and recent sales, a couple of things, a little bit, and then a little sticky note on there, and just say, call me directly on my cell at blah blah blah. And and it's amazing how many of them would do that. So it's a way to get through. Ask you, and if you get there before they go to work and put it in the door or on the garage door or whatever, I mean, you can, then they take it with them to work, and then a lot of good stuff happens with those things. They work.
So what I'm going to do is,
if you can stay away from the buyers, if you can refer 100% of them, 25, 50, 75, some person you respect that's really good with buyers, pay them 25% if it's just a regular, I think this one's a good one, pay me 25%. 50%, you sold their home and they need to buy something, 50-50. And then if it's a big trade up from this size to a mega house, then they get 25%, you get 75. And that way you can stay on course, so that every month you take 4 listings, 6 listings, 8 listings, whatever your number is. My number was usually 12 to 16 listings a month for many years. So, but whatever your number is, you can build, and you have to build up to that, but build up to that to where that's all you're doing. And somebody else is taking the buyers around. You have somebody else getting it from pending to close. And then you have a fabulous life. You'll have money and the time to enjoy it.
Yeah, I love it.
Like the weekends.
Hey, so let me ask you this. Somebody asked me this earlier, and I'm going to open it up for questions in probably about 6 or 7 minutes. So if anybody has questions, you guys can raise your hands. We'll actually bring you in, and you can ask Ren a question, or you can ask me a question. I heard, Ren, that there's some MLSs that are down, that have been down for like a week.
Rapatoni, the Rapatoni system. Yeah. Interesting thing, though, is Rapatoni is a platform company that powers a number of the MLSs. Now, according to Inman, they said that's 5% of the MLSs. But from our records and what we're seeing, that they're in some of these smaller overlap MLSs, Rapatoni's lost a lot of business to Matrix over the years. So our impact is running about 2 to 2.5%. Some bigger markets are Cincinnati, my city here, and it's messing me up because I've got 2 investment properties to go on. We gotta put them in the Dayton and Ohio MLS to get it going. And then Fresno, and then some real small desert cities in California. But really the impact is not that big. Yeah, it's a ransom situation. So I guess they're getting their Bitcoins together and talking to their insurance company. We know they're talking to their insurance company and trying to get some of this worked out. And then all those MLSs are doing workarounds. But that's just life. You can't be distracted by that unless you're in Fresno. or unless you're in Cincinnati or some desert cities in California.
I didn't even heard of it. And ironically, this morning, somebody told me about it.
This is day 8. This is day 8.
Wow. So we have Matrix. So that's probably why it didn't even affect me.
Yeah.
All right. So here's something I want to show you guys. We were talking about this, Ren, yesterday. You may not even have seen this. This is one of our funnels and our landing pages, and this is our guaranteed sale program. So what we do now is we are offering for people, it's a great tool to get in front of expired sellers, FSBOs, absentee owners, everybody. Like 3 ways we can sell your house now. We could get you a guaranteed sale program. If we don't sell it in 34 days, we'll buy it. We can give you a cash offer if you want to just sell now and move on. And then we use our hassle-free program. And this is just
a template system your customers can get involved with.
This is something, this is one of our products now. We have about 7 people using this particular. This is a 6-step sales funnel is what it is.
Well, you should get involved with this. They should get involved with this because one of the things we know, and I've watched this for years, even in this type of a market, that works well. You wouldn't think it would. Guaranteed sale, well, I know we can sell, but it does. It gets you in front of lots of people. For whatever reason, people are and for a variety of reasons. One, they think it helps the guaranteed sale. Well, I'll be able to sell it. Number 2, another one is they just don't want to be hassled. Maybe it's closer to a private sale in a way, but somebody's taking care of it for them. So it's a great come on to get in front of people and help them. So I would encourage you to, if David has got a template system like this, to get involved in that.
Yeah, we have the landing pages and stuff. And the other thing it does, Ren, is like, you're giving us the data to connect with these people, but we also need to be really strong with our conversations. So now this is giving you a tool belt. When you call someone, it's not so much about, hey, do you want to list with me? It's really about, hey, which of these makes the most sense for you? Right? Like going forward, which of these is going to work best for your situation?
Right. Because you get out there and the house is a wreck, and maybe the guaranteed sale is perfect for them, but maybe you get out there
or the buyer
home and they would leave money on the table and just say, I think the best thing we can do is list this property now. And then if you need to use the guarantee, which I doubt, I think you'll get more right. So you give them the right prescription, but it gets you in front of people.
That's it.
They will call you because of your guaranteed sale, and that's what you're going for.
That's it. And that's what we're doing. We're running those on Facebook ads and just getting them out in front of people, and all the data we get from Vulcan, and we send it to everybody.
You've tested it. Your template system is A/B tested so much that you've got it down to where people are responding well to it, the way it's written.
Well, we're running ads, and we've gotten a few responses. This is something we just rolled out about a month and a half ago.
Gotcha.
But it's tested. If you look at the top agents in all markets, they all use a guaranteed sale program.
They do.
Across the board.
Right.
For years.
I just mean what you're offering as a template is going to work because you're using best practices.
Absolutely. That's what we did. We modeled best practices, and now we've put together automation so it streamlines.
So they should get involved with that because it will work. There's ROI. They spend $1 and make 10.
We're going to open it up for questions in a few minutes, but a lot of you guys know we have Real Estate University. Okay. There's other coaches that are charging 2 to 4 times as much as we charge for what we do. And people are literally paying us and skipping the calls. We have a client right now that pays double to another coaching company, but yet they pay us. They're on our calls. They said we get twice as much from these calls. So this just shows different modules. We have for sale by owners. We have rent by owners. We have expired, circle prospecting, objection handlers, pre-quality. There's over 300 lessons in there, Ren, right now.
Nice.
Literally.
You got some good material, and I've seen some of the results from that from a lot of your people. So
thank you. Yeah. And most of our people, I'd say not every person, but the majority of our people are all using Vulcan 7, and that's what we train on. So that said, it brings us to this right here again with the offer you guys are putting out there right now, and then we're going to open it up to questions. But you want to talk about the way that works with people?
Yeah, we're just, you need to use it half the, the 30-day challenge. And all we ask you to do is use it half the time. Basically, use it at least 15 out of the next 30 days, and then come to our best practices program called Take 52. It's at 2:00 Eastern on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Just attend that 4 times. There are 8 of them in a 4-week period. So just at least attend half of those, because what you'll find on there is people are asking questions and interacting and learning a lot, so that you do take a listing. If for some reason you get to the end of the month and you have not taken a listing, you might have 5 listing appointments you haven't even gone on. But if you haven't yet taken a listing, then your next month is on us. But most of the time, David, we like this challenge because it gets people involved and they take a listing. We've had a few of them call to go, I'm calling about the challenge. I took a listing. Oh, no, it's if you don't take a listing. Oh, how much is your commission check? 14.5.
Yeah, that's
okay, well, congratulations.
That's I mean, and it's crazy because when you think about that, and people say, well, it's expensive. So our university is only $297 a month, and like in your product is what, $340 a month, $350 a month, whatever it is.
If you need to use somebody else's product, but here's the thing with numbers that everybody else has, and you don't have some of the rarer phone numbers, it's going to take a little longer to get there. It's going to take a lot longer to get there, but sure, you save an $80 a month, but
but we have to, you have to help people be able to just make sense out of, even if you did both of our programs together, and we have a special for you today, by the way, but if you did both of our programs together, you'd be investing $650 a month. One listing a month. It's for most of us, it's like a 10x investment. All you gotta do is focus.
You're trading nickels for quarters. We're trading nickels for quarters.
But a lot of people don't see it that way. They think of it as, oh man, I'm just spending money. And
you're gonna have for sale by owners that don't see it that way either. And you just have to say next, David, not everybody's gonna jump on this.
Good point. So let me just share this, and then we're going to open up for questions. I want to hear if you have questions, please raise your hands now, and we'll have Sam. We'll start letting some people in. But the way this works right here is, you have the Ren is offering you the 30-day challenge, meaning he's challenging you. Sign up for my program. If you put into work and don't take a listing in the first 30 days, we're going to give you your 2nd month free. And oh, by the way, we're also going to give you your 4th month free. Right?
Oh, that's right. We do that, don't we?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So we're actually giving you 2 out of 4 months, and you're going to take the listing.
Well,
anyway. If you do the work, because would you rather take a listing and make 6 to 10 grand, or would you rather get a month of Vulcan 7 for free?
I know they have mixed feelings. Like, darn, I took a listing. Darn.
Yeah. So, but what we're doing is, the reason Ren and I have been doing this for, I can't remember how long we've been together, but over 10 years, is because it works. And second, what I do now is we bring people in and we train them and we teach them how to be effective with these calls, right? So Ren's going to get us in front of them, and then I'm going to help you get to the finish line. That's the partnership here. So I created a special offer myself today. This is a today only. Right now, if you sign up for Real Estate University, we charge $297 a month. That's how much we charge. So we're right now, this is a today deal, because we want you to try it out, and we want you to also try Vulcan 7 at the same time. $497, we give you 4 months access to our full university, everything. Daily calls, okay, there's a call Monday through Friday. 2 of the calls are calls with me, okay, weekly consulting calls with me where I teach, and then 2 of the calls are role play calls, and then we have an office hours. Every week, there's over 100 training videos, over 300 pieces of content. There's a master scripts library, okay, there's daily accountability, and right now, you get to save $691. All you do is scan that code. Dan will drop the link in the chat for you as well if you want to take advantage of this. This is a today offer. That's all. I've never offered it this low to jump into our university.
That's a good one.
This is today. You're going to get 4 months for less than the price of 2 months. So you guys can take advantage of that. So I want to see right now who has questions So we'd love to jump into some questions. So
yeah, let's get some good questions, because if,
who's got a question?
Where I'm coming from is, if we can do anything that adds an extra listing or two to your business in the next 30 days, ask that question. That's on, because it'll probably serve other people. That's the only point of being on this call, is how do I take another listing today?
So, I mean, we've got Brendan, Alicia, Khalid, Camelia, Diana, Aaron, I mean, Jennifer, Monique.
How about Caleb? Caleb, are you there?
Caleb.
Ask us a question.
Let's see. Who's got a question? Just you guys can raise your hand. Don't be shy. Now's not the time to be shy. We gotta get you guys in the game.
Yeah, come on, Martha, Monica, Nichelle. Yeah, let's.
I'll tell you. I think Ren. So typically, one of the questions that I get asked most is like, "Hey, when I do set an appointment with these guys, like what do I do, right? Like, what do I bring? Because it's different for a lot of people. It's most people, a lot of realtors, they work with people they know and they have relationships. Now all of a sudden you're with people that you don't have that relationship with. So how do you
actually you did get a question from Brendan.
Okay, good.
What are some success stories from REU members?
Thank you. Let's look at the chat.
Or you can answer live, right?
Yeah, if you want. Why not just feel free, man. Raise your hand. We'll bring you in. If anybody has a question, let me Brendan
chit chat.
Allow. Which Brendan was it? Sharky or Allow?
Right? Yeah, it was in the Q&A thing down at the bottom. It says Brendan Sharkey.
Why do I not? Okay, cool. Oh yeah, I see it now. Sorry about that. Yeah, one open. All right, yeah. Let's see. Let's do live answer and see what happens. And we have Jennifer is on this call. Jennifer is one of our clients. She's been with us for a year and a half. She's an absolute rock star in New Jersey. She can tell you about being in the university. We've got a couple dozen people that are just crushing it right now. So, well, it doesn't look like we're getting a lot of questions though. So, I don't know, Brendan, you want anything, or Jennifer? Jennifer, you're welcome to jump in if you'd like to, or anybody else.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we do.
Hey, there you go. How's it going?
Hey guys, thanks for being here today. A lot of great information.
Of course.
Yeah, I was just curious, Ren, David, do you have any memorable success stories that you've heard from anybody that's participated in the Vulcan 7 programs, or David, the real estate membership, Real Estate University?
We've got dozens. I mean, if you go to our website, davidihill.com, or I'm sorry, real estate, that's my personal site, but if you go to realestateuniversity.club, I mean, there's probably 30 testimonial videos on there, but I'm trying to think of any. Jennifer, who's on here right now, I mean, I think her first listing was a for sale by owner, like 800,000. She jumped. She just got her license. I don't know, Jennifer, if you're available to chat. I don't know if you can or not, but I don't want to say the story wrong. But she had just gotten her license, and said, I want to focus on the listing side of the business. And she literally bought Vulcan 7, joined our community, and within a couple months, she had an $800,000 listing that she ended up selling and closing. And now her business is just all listings. She's I don't know exactly what her volume was last year, but I mean, she's just crushing it with listings, and her price point's high.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's just one example, but I mean, there's definitely, if you go to our site, realestateuniversity.club, there's testimonials on there. There's all kinds of you can watch the videos and hear from other clients.
Good.
What else?
Yeah.
Sorry, Ren.
As far as Vulcan 7 goes, one of the things we've done is we've made a point of interviewing people that have, hit it out of the park early on. And so we have if you go to vulcan7.com or if you go to YouTube and type in vulcan7.com, and you'll see a show called Roadmap, and we interview people that, they get into the business, they're brand new, and they, 18 months later, they're taking 8-10 listings a month, and and they're only a year and a half in the business. And that's a lot of fun. So if you look up our roadmap show on YouTube under Vulcan 7, you'll get to watch some of that. Yeah, it's fun to see some of these people that are like 25 years old or 28 years old, and they're making like $450,000-$600,000 a year, and really new in the game, all they are doing now. You have to understand they're a little driven. They're spending at least 3 to 4 hours a day talking to these people to get this business. So they're really putting in the effort. So, but it's fun to watch those interviews. And if you sat down, you watch 10 of those interviews, it's like a drug. You'd be like, I can do this too. If they can do that, if this guy or this gal who's only not even 2 years in the business can do this, I can do this too. So you'll get to see a lot of that.
There's also another video of Matt Straight. He had an independent brokerage called Straight Real Estate Solutions, and he was a client of ours, and he was spending about $3,500 a month on Zillow leads. And what he did was he took that $3,500 a month that he was spending on Zillow, and he purchased Vulcan, and he bought our community, and he started investing money in ads, and ended up completely getting his whole team off of Zillow, and just absolutely blowing his team up with taking listings, and more than doubling his production just by not just getting rid of Zillow, which, I mean, I don't want to say anything negative. As you probably guys know, I'm not a huge fan of Zillow, but for some, Zillow works, right? If you need Zillow, do your Zillow thing. That's cool. But I'll tell you what, it's a lot of money, and they're in control of your business. I'd rather have control of my business for a fraction of the money, and be able to control what I do every day, and who I talk to, and how I talk to them, and how I follow up, and all that other stuff. And so anyway, that's another success story of somebody that, ended up taking their whole business off of Zillow, and then focusing on taking listings using expireds, for sale by owners, and then eventually circle prospecting and his database and everything else. So do we have any other questions? Any other hands up? All right,
anybody have a specific situation, anything related to
or even a situation, good point.
Building inventory, adding 1 to 2 listings a week to your inventory. And maybe, and there may be somebody on here already doing it at that level, and we can talk higher than that if you want.
You know what, Ren? I mean, I think there's some people on here right now that probably just need to start taking a listing a month. You know what I mean? Just a listing a month would make a huge difference.
And now, I think it's if you start Monday morning at 8 a.m. by the time I hit Friday at 5 p.m., I'm going to take 1 listing, and I'm not going to work any buyers. I'm going to refer every buyer, and you set up, and everything you do. If you use Zillow, do this: pull up all the for sale owners, and then map it, draw a little line that goes from this side of the screen to this side of the screen, connecting, create a little snake, and then stop at each one and visit each one. Maybe you go to 12 of them, and guess what? 3 or 4 will be at home. A lot of people work at home, maybe 5 at home. Have a conversation with them. Take 1 listing that day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take 1 listing that day, and then do it again.
I tell people, Ren, just go on an appointment a day. If you go on 1 a day, right, 6 days a week, good things will start to happen.
You'll have a good career for the rest of your life. Good things will start
to happen, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Even if the appointment's just door knocking a FSBO, right? Like that's not the highest level appointment, but it's still an appointment.
I think it is. They have a home for sale and no agent. I'll take it all day long, face to face with a for sale by owner.
Yeah, if that's what you have to do, then you do that. And
and there's nothing wrong with it. There's a lot right with it, because you'll get paid.
Yeah.
A lot of people respect the fact that you're out there working. The respect that you took to dress like a professional, go to the door, have some professional materials, and have practiced at least something to say and sit down and chat about some things intelligently. Are you going to win every game? No. If you win, you go on 10 and you take 2. It's fine. You look at batting averages in baseball. They strike out way more than they get the ball to the bat.
That's right. That's
but
absolutely
some of them
right.
do real well. So it's all good.
Well, before we wrap, I just want to let people know again about the offer that we created for you guys today. You can jump into our community for 4 months. I would definitely get set up with Ren, so we can get you set up with Vulcan, get you using Vulcan. This is an investment. You gotta realize it's an investment. Like, you invest money in your business to grow your business. And I wish somebody taught me that at the beginning of my real estate career. Nobody taught me that. I just cold called. You know, at the beginning, I called from the telephone books. I mean, I did that before real estate. I called telephone books.
What are those, David? What are telephone books?
I know, right? But I called the newspapers. Remember back in the day, I used to call the real estate section. I joined a team, and that's what I did. He taught me to call the real estate section. Then before I heard of Vulcan 7, I think we used it was like RedX or something. I tried that, and then I think it was Peter Chabris turned me on, right? Peter Chabris is the one that turned me on to Vulcan 7 a long time ago.
Yeah, he's right here in town. He's
a friend. Yeah. So again, guys, listen, here's your opportunity today. Again, this is a today special. Take advantage of it. Scan that QR code now. See that QR code on your screen. Make sure you scan it.
Oh, weekly role play group calls. That's good. Oh, that is huge. That makes such a big difference, because if you know what to say and you can get it to unconscious confidence, you can take that to the bank. To be able to know what to say and not have to think about it, it's just comes out of your mouth. That is good.
Well, that plus, you're getting me on 2 weekly calls. There's other coaching companies, like I said, that the main coach with the last name of the coaching company, they're not on calls, and most of the guys that are on calls with you are not even a lot of them haven't sold real estate. So I don't want to bash any other companies, but listen, when you combine this with what Ren's product, it's a winning formula. That's the bottom line. It turns into a winning formula. So Ren, I just want to say thank you today, man.
Thank you, David. I'm glad everybody could be here, and I wish we had a couple more questions. It's fun if we can help somebody. Yeah, take that extra listing.
I know I'm surprised we don't have more questions, because I know there's probably people.
Or you can always just go around to the yard sales. You realize 1 out of every 8 yard sale, the people are moving.
There you go.
They are. They're gonna have a sign in the yard about 2 weeks later. So go to 8 yard sales, and one of them is going to be putting their home on the market.
You can do that, or you can get an email every single morning from Vulcan 7 with the list of people to call, right?
Yeah, I just want to make sure we throw out a few different little ideas, because listing property is fun.
Yeah, it is. I love listing properties. It was a game changer for me. You see this little book right here, Ren? See this little yellow book I wrote? This is called a 90-minute book.
Earn even more money.
How to earn
working fewer hours. That is it. It is. If you're on the listing side of the business, you're working smarter.
Yeah, we wrote that in 2021, and because that was the game changer for me when I stopped personally working with buyers and started giving them all to my team.
Buyers take skill. Listings take skill. Anybody can take buyers around, but listings is a skill-based business. It's worth investing in yourself. I think you'll be happy with it.
Awesome, my man. Well, listen, I just want to put this slide up for you, and again, you guys can take advantage of the 30-day challenge with Vulcan. I just want to say thank you, Ren. We appreciate you.
Got it. We appreciate it.
I've been working with you for a long time, and we look forward to continuing that. Thank you, my friend.